All right, looks like we've got it live real quick here, and I wanted to go ahead and show you. This is Case Hits Collectibles, and what I wanted to go over today was Anon TCG. If you don't know who this is, you need to get over there and like and subscribe to their content, especially if you're serious about being in the sort of sealed TCG investment collecting type space. Lots of great information on what sets are coming, due to reprints, what sets are coming up in the future, kind of allocating your money to things that you actually want to buy and that you think will have a good potential future. Not that it's really that hard in this market right now. You could almost throw a dart at anything blindly and hit something that's going to go up over the next year. But anyway, we all want to kind of like min-max, right? So anyway, he made this video where he was discussing this idea of turning $10,000 into $100,000 in TCGs through investing in sealed product primarily, right? And the basis of this was, could you do this in like 1 year? And spoiler alert, probably not, unless you got really lucky or you bought exactly the right thing. Final Fantasy Collector's Edition, you bought 50K at 500 bucks, and you sold it for 150K at 1500, right? Something like that. But this is just kind of more tried and true, slow and steady. Not even slow really in terms of real investments, but that's the idea here, right? So we're looking at this, and I'm not going to spoil his analysis. You can watch the video, click again, subscribe to his stuff. If you really want to get into it, join his Whoop group, or I'm not sure, Patreon Whoop type thing that gets you access to the Discord and other deals and stuff. So anyway, I'm doing this, and I thought I would go ahead and share where I'm at because I decided to go ahead and do this 10K challenge. And over the next couple of years is my plan. And just to see how it grows, just to be a slow, steady, patient drip of investment and see the returns and grow from there. So I wanted to share this. This is kind of like my basic spreadsheet that I use. It says at the top metals and cards inventory. I have multiple different things that I kind of invest and collect and hobbyist into, and precious metals, like, whatever, that's part of it. So anyway, TCGs. So I built this little spreadsheet for myself. It does everything I need. I've got all the games that I currently have inventory for added here, so I can just choose what I want to do. I can put in the name of the item, the type of the item, the date that I purchased it, the quantity that I purchased. Obviously, the cost. My cost includes everything. So, for instance, if I buy something off of an online retailer store, and the box price may have been $129.99 or something. But if I had, 6% state taxes added on, and then I had, an $8 shipping or something added on, well, if that brought the cost basis to $143.11, like, I'm not lying to myself and I'm not lying to others, right? I'm just going to put, hey, this one box cost me $143.11. So that's what you kind of see there. And my current market price is it's automatically kind of extrapolated from TCG Player. So if you were to go to, like, here's a good one. Like, anyway, I don't know what's a good one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Commander decks, for instance. So if I click here, $53.99. If I go to this tab right here, I should see that each one of these decks is currently $53.99. Now, this can get kind of fuzzy because if somebody has, let's say that somebody comes up here and puts $49.99 and $5 shipping, well, my tracker will still say $49.99. So it just kind of, again, over time, it doesn't matter. I'm not looking at this every day. It's just an overtime situation to see how things grow and if the prices of things appreciate. Which, again, if you just look at any of these charts, really, you can try to find stuff like this, like 1 year chart. It's not been out for a year, but you can see we're kind of what I think. We're at the bottom of these. So I've picked up a case and a couple of Lucy's just for looking on the shelf. They look cool, but Turtles play. I mean, is it going to get reprinted? Who knows? I don't know. That I leave that to the guys like Anon and Rudy and all them to let me know what's going on there, but I can just use the charts the best that I can. So what is the ultimate strategy here? The goal is to take $10,000 of investment, which if you go to my dashboard here, my dashboard does a pretty good job of summarizing how much I've spent, right? Total cost basis is all the total of everything that I've spent. The current value, right? The current value based off of the current market prices. So then the unrealized profit, unrealized gain on the left here. So 9.71%. And if you go back to my inventory, some of that profit is from stuff that I've had for 5 months on the right here. You can see months held. Months held is just, again, my purchase date minus the date. I don't. If you guys need help with anything, like anything that's going on this spreadsheet that you don't have to do yourself, just let me know. You know, this is the X path to get the price. You know, I froze the two left columns so that when I scroll my screen left and right and I look at prices, I can easily tell what booster box I'm looking at. Like little things like that, again, just make quality of life for me a lot easier to figure this out. Anytime I've sold anything, I'll list it here. But you can see if I look at months held and I just sort this column by, you know, in order. Oh, should have sorted it the other way. The longest thing that I've had, even in this, is 6 months. So you can see that I didn't really start dumping anything into this until about 6 months ago. I decided, hey, you know, this will be a fun, just kind of like side hobby investment thing. Just buy a bunch of product and sit on it. Again, you can see sometimes I didn't buy things at a great price. Sometimes the secondary market price that I paid was too much. It is what it is. Like I'm not gonna fret over it. If I believe in this stuff long term, again, not long term's not like 1 week, right? Long term's 2 years, 1 year, you know, 8 months, stuff like that. I'll be okay, I think. So I look at this, Kami's Island, right? OB15, One Piece. I like One Piece. I like Lorcana. I like Magic. I like whatever. I want all of the games, Gundam, Dragon Ball, whatever. I like them all. They're cool. But primarily for this challenge, we're going to focus mostly on the Magic the Gathering inventory and building the collection from there and flipping those. But anyway, you can see I had this for 6 months. This one has not gone up at all. So this has basically just been dead money for 6 months. Whereas, you know, the New Type Rising almost doubled its value in 5 months. So again, give or take there. Also, because I have state taxes when I purchase stuff online, anything that's basically 6% or less returns is essentially like me buying at market. So anything below -6% is actually the price is going up. That's kind of how I read it, because again, I don't factor in the taxes and the shipping and stuff like that for these market prices. It's just whatever they're offering it at. I don't care. Like I'm not trying to chase that yet, and I don't plan to sell anything until it gets about 100%. When it gets to about 100% or so, I plan to sell. For this Magic Gathering thing, it'll probably be closer to like 70%. Whenever something is valued about 70% higher, I'll probably flip it into the next thing that I think has a chance to grow up. I've got a watch list here of things that I'm looking for if you're interested. Well, I've got the Lorcana Attack of the Vine. I got 2 of these for like 144. So that's doing fine. Gundam Freedom Ascension. I wanted 160. I don't know if I'm ever going to see it, to be quite honest with you. I thought that this price would come down. Maybe when the next wave hits, it'll come down some. But I'm not going to chase it at 225. It is what it is. There's other things I can put money into. One Piece 17. This means the pre-releases. When you see this error right here, the pre-release price isn't out there yet, so I'm just waiting for it to release. Lower Eclipse. This I guess this isn't probably going to happen anymore either, because these have already kind of like passed the point of no return. Final Fantasy Play Boosters, possibly whenever the reprint comes in November. That's what I'm banking on. I would like to pick these up. I'll buy like a case of 200 or something like that. That's my plan, or less. And then yeah, you can see what I'm searching for here. Hobbit Play Boosters. I got a couple of them at 160 through Anon's actually group. So that'll be cool. And if it keeps going down lower, I plan to pick up again. My goal is probably to start buying cases of 6 at a time rather than loose boxes, depending on the cash flow of where we're at. And I'm going to keep up more inventory. So go back here. Starting basis currently is at 10,000. I am going to add like another 5,000 to this over the next few weeks here or months. So, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a delay before we get to the actual 10K Magic the Gathering. But I'm going to go ahead and add this up and get there eventually, and we can kind of see where we're at. So this will be the starting point. It's like the end of July. July 27th, 2026 is where we're starting. Again, this is Anon TCG's 10K to 100K challenge. He says that he believes it's totally possible with like commander decks and play boosters and things like that. And you know, I didn't even mention it, but like you could just straight degen. Like, let's be honest, you could probably drop 30,000 or 10,000 into, you know, the Hobbit collector's editions if you really wanted to, and you could probably meet your goal in like 18 months. Okay, but that's not really that fun for me. And my goal is actually to sell a portion. So that's why I have this little calculator here, profit calculator. So like, let's say I bought something at $139.99 and I have like $10 in shipping. I have whatever, like a 15% platform fee, whatever it is. What this will tell me is it tells me the exact price I need to sell this box for to get that 50% profit. So if I want, I mean, this is profit. Like this is subtracting out all the fees and everything like that. So basically, if I go and I list this product for $258, I can do it. So what I do is I will buy, let's say I buy 6 of something. Okay. Let's say I buy 6 booster or play boosters of something. Well, if I have 6 and I want to, let's say I have 6, what this tells me is, okay, if I want to carry my remaining inventory at a $0 cost basis, then essentially that if I sell 4 at $258.79, if I sell 4 of them, my remaining 2 boxes here will have a zero, like an exact 0 cost basis. So therefore, I can flip that initial purchase into the next thing while retaining a small position of the original purchase for essentially, again, a 0 cost basis. So if it goes up or down, it doesn't really matter. It has value. And if it keeps going up, like I'm not going to miss out on those extra extended gains versus if I were to sell everything. Now, if you do it on a smaller scale, right, maybe you've got, maybe you're buying stuff at, the $129.99, which is kind of standard there. You're going to charge people $10 to ship, blah, 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 blah. So you sell for $240, and let's say you only have like 4 of these. It's going to be obvious. You sell 3, you keep one of your boxes. You take that money that you sold and reflip it right back into the next position. So at the end of the day, your total, again, asset value of your collection could keep growing from 10K to 20K to 30K to 50K to 75K to 100K, right? It compounds a little bit faster than that when you get to the larger scale. If you're throwing it all 100% all or none, right? The idea is like, okay, you take 10K, it becomes 20K, you sell the 20K, and then reinvest it all 100% back into the next thing. And that's how you kind of like compound it faster. Or you can go slower by doing it a little bit more steady. So this is I just wanted to kind of get this out there as the premiere of what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it. I also have all my expenses tracked just for business purposes. I can subtract out my expenses from my costs to kind of reduce my, end of year taxes and stuff like that. But this is it. Having fun with it. You can see my inventory. I'll go through here real quick to show you my full inventory of where we're technically starting. Again, we're going to be shifting most of the focus into Magic the Gathering products from here on out. I just wanted to show you again. I'm not saying I'm not going to sell some of this stuff though. So I will sell some of this stuff if I need to. Absolutely. So for instance, here we go. We have a Universe's Critical Role. I have 2 boxes of this. Why? Because I really like the show. I really like the show. And quite honestly, if you look at the inventory of this, there's only 3 boxes available on TCG Player. Like there's very low liquidity, maybe 1 or 2 boxes a month sells, but it's only 3 boxes at like $110, and then after that there's none. So I'm gonna list one at $250, and maybe when the supply is completely gone, somebody might buy one of my boxes at $250. I get to keep one. Yada yada yada. You get the point. University of Union Arena Solo Leveling First Edition. I just think it's a cool anime. I liked it. All right, here we go. Magic the Gathering Turtles Commanders. I think there's value in this product. Everything that people talk about, there's good value in this product. There's only 1 commander deck for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There absolutely should have been a Shredder and Bebop, Rocksteady. They should have done all that, but they didn't. So only get the turtles. It's the 4 turtles. I think it's cool. I think over the test of time, people will want to go back and visit this and like this. There's not that much supply. Anyway, I've got 6 boxes of that. Tarkir Dragonstorm is one of my favorite sets. I like dragons, so I only picked up a box of this. This was again just me kind of just building stuff for display, more of a collector side rather than an investment side. So if I were really to be investing in these, I would be buying like 3 or 4 boxes at a time instead of 1, or buy a small case of 6. I think will be the play moving forward. Again, most of this was for collectible purposes and display purposes, not necessarily for investment. But Lorwyn Eclipsed, Foundations play. Again, I think Foundations play is an amazing product. I really like it. Final Fantasy Commander decks. Got a couple of these. I really like Final Fantasy. It's my favorite RPG, favorite video game series. And the fact that it's with Magic the Gathering, I feel like I just needed some. And the Commander decks are cool. I also, by the way, on the side, I collect privately all the Surge foil characters and all the Chocobo Trails foil characters in a binder. I just think they're amazing. Bloomburrow, absolutely goated. One of my favorite sets right there. All right, Disney Lorcana. Oh, wait, this isn't in order. Damn it. I should have just done it like this. I could sort this in order. Gundam. I do believe in Gundam long term. I think Gundam has a great future. So I've got New Type Rising, Dual Impact, Steel Requisite, Fanti Aria, Eternal Nexus. Eternal Nexus was a little bit of a flop. Did not perform like I thought it would. Half considering selling a couple boxes at like a loss just to cycle it into stuff that probably has the potential to move faster. But whatever. For now, we got them. Arcasia's Island, bought a case of that. Rain of Jafar, bought a case of that because I think Lorcana is going to have its day. There's a lot of hype and euphoria in the space right now, and it's mostly for sets 9 through 12 with the highest rarity is, the iconic rarity is like really, really good. But we'll see if that lasts. We'll see if that lasts or not. But if it does last, I think that it's gonna have potential. And I think some of these, I like Rain Jafar. I really like the enchanteds in that, so I figured why the hell not. I got a lot of Rain Jafar, to be quite frank. Probably too much. Probably should sell my loose boxes and then move that into something else. But it's like it's such a if it's under 30% on the right, like if it's under 30% unrealized gain, it's not even worth selling because it's break even at that point, right? Anyway, Winterspell, Wilds Unknown, Attack of the Vine, all pretty good products. Wilds Unknown's a great product. Attack of the Vine's a great product. Again, Magic the Gathering, Marvel Collector, Spider-Man Collector, Marvel Play. I think I have Spider-Man. I thought I had Spider-Man Play too. Maybe I don't. I thought I had some Spider-Man Play, but maybe I didn't inventory it. Yeah, you get the point here. One Piece, again, I like One Piece a lot. I had some really good games in One Piece. I actually picked up the 2 Legends case. I don't even have it in hand yet, but I bought this from Anon, and you can see it's already performing pretty well. 11% gain on a $3,000 product or $20 product. Pretty solid. And looking at the inventory, I don't think it's going to be reprinted. It's going to be out of rotation eventually anyways. It doesn't have the strongest manga. Silver's Rayleigh is okay, but he's not the strongest, and it's only 1 manga in that set. So this will be a slow trickle, I think, but hey, it's already kind of getting there. But yeah, that's the inventory. If you're interested, oh yeah, sorcery, gosh dang. Arthurian Legends, like it just seems like it can never get above 120 for longer than a month. So I don't know. I used to buy them at 120. I don't want to buy anymore. I've bought and opened a lot of those. So sorcery is probably not going to be much going for it for a while. But yeah, we're gonna switch back to mostly Magic the Gathering. That's really all I got. I kind of talked about it, but yeah, we got like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think these are good. I really like Marvel superheroes. Marvel superheroes, I think, is just an absolutely like amazing set, birthed from like concept, artwork, characters that they put into it, both heroes and villains, power level. I think the set is amazing. I don't care if they keep reprinting it. I'll just keep buying it and buying it and buying it because I think it's gonna be long great. Lorwyn Eclipse. Oh, I didn't have the right thing there, but I think Lorwyn Eclipse is a great product. This is I think a really good universes within